Happy New Year's, everybody! We have finally made it through 2020 and we are in 2021. 2020 was an interesting year to say the least, but one good thing that did come out of it was the fact that we found out Percy Jackson is getting an adaptation. For some of you, you have been waiting a very, very long time for this. For others, you might not know what I'm talking about, but that's what we're going to be discussing today, so check it out. Hi, I'm Madison and this is Device Guys. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, Fox has owned the Percy Jackson rights since before the first book was released in 2005. In 2010 they came out with a movie that was based on the first book, and then in 2013 they came out with a second movie based on the second book. Those movies did not do well because they were not very book accurate. Rick Riordan didn't like it, the fans didn't like it, and so when they started the process of the third movie, it got cancelled. And they have just kind of been tied up at Fox ever since then. However, in 2017, a Disney-Fox merger started to be discussed. And so people started talking about the possibility of Disney owning Percy Jackson and making an adaptation. This was very exciting for fans because Disney is the publishing company that owns Percy Jackson. However, Disney is a very big umbrella, so their publishing company and their movie company are two completely different things. And so it was kind of, we don't know. But it stayed in conversation for a while, and in 2018, Rick was writing a blog post about his experience with Fox and how little say he got in it and how very frustrating it was for him. And so he starts talking about the possibility of a future project. And Rick says, and I'm quoting, "I may not be able to comment on it for contractual reasons, but you can tell how I'm feeling about it based on what I say or don't say. Am I talking about it, promoting it, sharing cool things? I'm probably happy. Am I completely ignoring it, never mentioning it on social media? Yeah, probably not a good sign. For instance, check out my website, rickriordan.com. Do you see any indication that there was a Percy Jackson movie ever existed? No, you do not." And so Rick was very discouraged in 2018, but however this continued to be a topic of conversation, and then in March of 2019, Fox and Disney officially merged. They were officially signed. Percy Jackson was now owned by Disney. And again, the fans are still riled up about this, and they have gone trending on Twitter several times at this point. And so in October of 2019, Rick has finally decided that, you know what, let's give it a good adaptation because that's what the fans want. And so he starts fighting for the adaptation. And that is what the background for this is. Yay! Anyway, let's get into what we know about this adaptation as of now. First off, it's happening. Disney owns the entire Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, which is those first 5 books that we got from 2005 to 2010. We know that it's going to be something that premieres on Disney Plus. It's not going to be on Disney Channel. It's not going to theaters. It's a Disney Plus exclusive. We know that it's going to be live action. I know several people have talked about it being animated and it possibly working better as an animation, but right now that's kind of off the table. It is live action. The TV show, it is going to be a TV show, and it's going to start with the first book, The Lightning Thief, and with that it does mean that it could possibly get cancelled at any point in time before we get to The Last Olympian. However, if they maintain book accuracy, I think that the popularity will be overwhelming, so there will be no worries of it cancelling. We do know also that Rick and Becky are heavily involved. We know that they are writing this script. They have been quoted to say that they are going to have a hand in every process of this journey. And so, at least as of now, we have confirmation that they are helping with the script, so that should be reassuring. Unfortunately though, we know that the earliest that we will probably get to see this is 2022. And so that is disappointing, but if you think about it, we're already in 2021, so. But they're still in the process of perfecting the script. They haven't even started pre-production. They don't have a director, they have no cast. It is definitely nowhere near time for casting. I know people keep asking because that is something they keep saying. But, and this pandemic is kind of slowing us down a little bit there, but, I mean, 2022, possibly, probably later, but right now, 2022 is very optimistic. We do know that things will be changed for the better. In July of 2020, Becky tweeted talking about kind of the current climate and all of this stuff and some mistakes that had been made in the Spanish translation. And she comments on that post saying, "For the TV show, we are bringing up things that were not good decisions or have not aged well for the Lightning Thief, making changes where we can. We are going to have lots of rep, and a sensitivity consultant has already been recommended." So we do know that things will change for the better, and there are going to be things that change just in general, because that's what happens when you go from book to movie or book to TV show. Things change, and that's okay. As long as they keep the heart and soul of the book, I believe that we as fans will be okay with it. Also, a good thing that came out of 2020 is the Kane Chronicles are getting a Netflix movie, which is super exciting. The unfortunate part to this means that there will be no Percy Kane crossover like Rick does in some of his spin-off novels. This past December in 2020, Becky did tweet talking about the Kane Chronicle adaptation and confirmed the fact that that won't happen. She says, "The only downside for the readers is that it will mean absolutely no crossovers for Percy and the Kanes ever. Rick's crossover stories are what we call frozen rights. They need it to be frozen, not available, so that there is no confusion about who owned what rights." And so that means that they will not be able to make those crossovers whatsoever, even if, you know, Disney had a different character playing the Kanes, or the Kanes, Netflix had a different character playing Percy. That's just not going to happen. The best crossover we can see is if the actors happen to bump into each other and take some photos together. But yeah, I'm super excited. I feel like we're going to get so much more information in 2021 as they're finishing up the script and moving into pre-production. But we'll just have to wait and see. If you enjoyed this kind of video, let me know by hitting that like button. If you like Percy Jackson, we have a whole Percy Jackson playlist on this channel. But we also do things that aren't Percy Jackson related, and so if that interests you, you can go ahead and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.